Testing 1, 2 with Pat. Well, I'm guessing I'm a West Coast guy at this point. Hey, people, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Glad that you could be here tonight with us. I appreciate you for coming out, for looking on your smartphone in between commercials or whatever else you're watching on Netflix. That'd be more apt, wouldn't it? More, realistic. What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? That's where we are. If you could retweet this, that'd be great. Let people know that your brother Tim Black is on the internet and that he's doing this thing tonight. Let me go and make sure people can hear before we get started. Facebook in the house. There we go. Dion, what's up, man? What's up, George? All my Johnsons. What's up, Robin? Anita, Janice, good to have you. Glad to see you, Nathan. Elaine, can you hear me? Angelique, thank you for the stars, Angelique and Nathan. I appreciate you. Thanks for supporting the show. Julie and Dolores and Joyce. Thank you. Linda, Rob, Angelique, Matt, Kevin, Portland Strong, I feel you. Doug Alfred. How's the volume, guys? You guys good? What's up, Michael? Joan, Anita, Jimmy T. Good to have you as always. Rob, Bob, Michael, Carrie, Marcy. You guys can hear? Nathan, what's up? What's up, Johnson? Thank you. Looking fresh, thank you. Daniel Criswell, we got you. Thanks, Rob. And the notorious Andy. Oh, Amity. Amity, what Amity? All right. Took me back there for a minute. One of the original horror movies, Amityville Horror Story. So Facebook's good. They're in the clear. Thank you, Facebook, for responding. Let's go check YouTube. YouTube, are we doing okay? YouTube, how you doing? YouTube people, Schultze and Nivek and Bowles, Einstein and Deanna and Lily Sage and Michael Goldenberg. The Pants. Canvas Dancer, good to see you as always. Brian Crosby, my brother. Coogan Lephard. Okay. That's what we're doing now. Okay. Sign of the Times, thank you for doing the moderation. In moderation, Gilberto, Nikki, Aurora, Allison, Daisy. Wes Erie, the pessimic physicist. Lugita, Joe Famous, BG in the house. What's up, BG? Always with an insightful comment with a bit of humor. Cortez, PG O'Hearn, and Heather Siridwin. Wolfpack members in the house. Thank you, Wolfpack members. I see you out there, Jilly, Heather. If you got emoticons, use them, Bose. Thank you, Bose. Thank you, Kelly M. Thank you, Mama Alaska. Thank you, Daisy. Whole crew, thank you, guys. Hilltop Ironworks. Thank you, Hilltop. All right. So we're good on Facebook. We're good on YouTube. If we could tweet this out real quick to our people on Instagram is its own world, right? We'll tweet it out to Twitter. Well, obviously. All right, too. It's going to be one of those nights. Twitter. Let's see. Twitter. I'm going to put happening now. Happening now. Got to spell happening right. There we go. Tweet. All right. Thank you, Dave L. I will be sure to hit all of the super chats tonight because I got a feeling it's going to be a heavy night for people making statements tonight. The best way to start a conversation is difficult to have is just to start it. It's no perfect way. It's also no perfect way to pay homage to an individual who you admire, who has inspired you in some way. Person that may have touched your life. There's no perfect words. There's no way to totally crystallize the moment. But we make our attempts because this is not about how eloquent you could speak. It's not about a punchy little statement you make. It's about the person that you're honoring, the person that you're respecting. You know, I wouldn't be telling you the truth if I told you I was a dear friend of Michael Brooks. It was not. In fact, Michael Brooks and I had somewhat of a contentious relationship in the beginning of it. Went on this show with Sam Cedar a few years ago, back when we were still bickering about 2016 and Hillary Clinton and the pragmatist, the jackass Hillary Clinton, and thus Bernie supporters who would die hard, and we couldn't let it go. We believed so strongly that the left was going too far into the camp of, well, let's get behind Hillary, that whole thing, and it was crazy. It was, people were losing their minds, and then I felt like at the time I had solidarity with certain folks, and I believed certain things. I still believe certain things, but you know, Michael Brooks and Sam Cedar, they let me call up on the show, and it didn't end well for me. Mike was funny, all right? Can I just say that? Can I say Mike was funny? This one part he got me in trouble. He's so funny he got me in trouble because he made a comment about Susan Sarandon, and he did her voice. And I laughed. I had to laugh because Michael was funny. He said, it'll bring on the revolution. And it was the way he said, maybe Trump will bring on the revolution. He was taking a hit at Susan Sarandon. It was fun. It was hilarious. But I couldn't laugh because Susan Sarandon at the time, I couldn't. So Michael Brooks, he got me in trouble not only because I laughed, because other people heard me laugh, and then they made videos about me laughing about the joke Michael Brooks made about Susan Sarandon, and I'm there to defend the hardcore left that's still standing with Bernie and saying never Hillary. So, thanks, Mike. Know thy place. Know who you are. Be who you are. Michael Brooks knew who he was. No doubt about that. He knew who he was. He knew what he believed. And more importantly, he knew why he believed it. And he knew what he detested. More importantly, he knew why he detested it. See, some of us, we dislike things because it's what we think we need to do. Man was learned. I said learned. And I'll admit, man, I admire his attention to detail, his in-depth analysis, his way of getting to the crux of a matter, knowing the history. And I've always admired those people, man, who had that ability to just study and just know this stuff and be able to recite it on point. And yeah, it's not really my thing. I like facts, but sort of a, journeyman, so to speak. I'm a casual observer of things important, but say it with passion and conviction, and I believe in things very strongly, but I'm no Michael Brooks, and I don't intend to be. I don't try to be. And you know what? To Michael Brooks, that was fine. More recently, we had buried the hatchet, so to speak, if there ever was one. I'm not suggesting that Michael Brooks walked around thinking about, what does Tim Black think about me? And I wonder how our relationship is. He's a very busy man doing a show, doing multiple shows, doing multiple things, fighting a good fight for the left, for disenfranchised people, not just in the United States, but all over the globe, speaking out on issues that mattered. And I went out the house. I went out the house today, right? I went fishing. Under the guidance of my friend Buck Bewley, supporter of my show, good friend. He said, Tim, you really need some time off. Like, you're right. So I invited on this little boat, couple guys, we could social distance, wear the mask, do the whole thing, but you got to get out the house. So I did that. And man, I'm telling you, I ain't as young as I used to be. I was tired. I was beat. Got home about 3, I don't know. Fell asleep. And woke up. It was just about time to do the show. About 9 o'clock I woke up. And I saw that Michael Brooks had passed. So I'm doing this show because Michael Brooks passed today. Because I could have very easily phoned this one in, guys. And I'm speaking about Michael Brooks because, not because he's trending on Twitter. He's been trending in our circle for years. Finally, Twitter caught up to the fact he was a phenomenal voice to the left. Courageous, willing to say things that others wouldn't say. No fear of the complications it may cause for a man not so young but not so old to have dreams of doing different things. Willing to risk all of that to tell the truth. So I'm glad they finally caught up and they give some type of acknowledgement to Mr. Brooks. This moment, it gives me an opportunity to say and to look and to see that we're all very different people from very different walks of life. I listened to some tributes to Mike. I listened to a couple. I'm not many. And I realized I'm surrounded by very young people. Very young people from a very different experience. I'm very acquainted with death. I hear people talking about this as if, of course it's shocking that it was Michael Brooks, but, the way I grew up, the way that I came up, and we saw death all the time, it's the struggle of inner city black folk where nothing's promised. If it's gun violence, drug violence, gang violence, neighborhood violence, but I get it. And what I'm saying is I listen to these younger people, mostly white people, younger white people, talk about Michael Brooks and how shocked they are at his death. And we don't know the causes, and if we did, I wouldn't tell you. Go find out on your own. It strikes me that it's important that I know my place. And it's important that we be who we are. And we speak with earnestly, sincerely, and from a place of realness. Because we all have a story to tell, and we can only tell it our way. And for Michael Brooks, and for the memory of Michael, I would just like to say that I see clearly now that we need to lean in further in who we are and exemplify that and stress that. So, hey, anybody out there reeling over Michael, I totally understand. Lives have been cut short. A life has been cut short. An important voice has been cut short, has been silenced. This is what happens. This is how it happens. And it's all about what we do when we're here. Mike was a hard worker. Yeah, you can be smart, you can be good, you can be talented, you can be wise, you can be bright, you can be a genius, but you got to work. Mike worked. I heard he was live streaming just last night. He worked. So that's something to take away from this. And he touched millions of people. And I expect millions of more tributes and videos, well, views, and people will say things. I just want to say to his family, his friends, his co-workers, his colleagues, to the whole community of people on the left who truly represent the left, not the left they tell us that's the left, based on this fake paradigm of narrative that they spin in corporate cable media, true left. Human rights, women's rights, voting rights, civil rights, workers' rights, environmental rights, justice. People who believe in those things from border to border, globally. We lost a good one. Now go out and honor that good one by creating more good ones. We're only here for a limited amount of time. Dr. Cornel West said, decide to do some good before the worms get you. And they gonna get you, so it's all about what you do before they do. Michael Brooks did the damn thing. My respect, my condolences once again to Michael Brooks. Don't be sad, don't be disappointed. Be happy and lucky and fortunate that you knew him. I'll be right back after this. R.I.P. Right. All right. This is kind of okay, guys. I've got a couple things I like to discuss. A couple story things that kind of hit the radar today. Portland, Oregon. Like, really, we need to sit down and talk. No, I know you got places to be, things to do, places to go, mask not to wear, but I guess we need to talk about what's happening in Portland, Oregon. We need to talk about what's up with the stormtroopers in Portland, Oregon. This is what they just did recently has really elevated this story to another level, even for those people who are disaffected, who always side with the state and always support police and always look at regular people that are just like them as scumbags because the state is the hero, and that by extension the military, the police, what have you, jails, these things are the heroes of our communities, of their communities in their ideology. What's happening there right now is atrocious. Look at this. Now, in an earlier video, I showed you this. Did I? Yeah, did I show you this? John Cusack sent out this tweet. This was last week. I tweeted this out. Trump bar unleashed stormtroopers in Portland. Yep, secret police abducting protesters, shooting a protester in the face with a rubber bullet. Under no constitutional authority, lawless. You like this fascism? And then there was this. These are some of the Portland's finest, I guess. Okay. No, these are the stormtroopers in question. These are people wearing generic police uniforms, but are not police. They're not Portland, Oregon police. These are people hired from DHS and other agencies to come in and quell and to somehow, I don't know, basically grab people off the streets in Portland and put them in the unmarked vans. Oregon Attorney General sues federal agencies over Portland arrests. Says the tactics are similar to kidnapping. So we covered that story. The lawsuit was filed on Friday in Oregon U.S. District Court. Says the agents violated the civil rights of Oregon residents using unlawful tactics. It comes after federal authorities allegedly injured and threatened peaceful protesters and seeks to bar the agencies from arresting people without probable cause or warrant. So they're violating all types of constitutional rights as they lay hands upon individuals just for being there. Yes, in America, you are not constitutionally allowed to just beat up citizens because you have a badge. There are protocol. There are very, very low hoops to jump through to do that, but there are hoops nonetheless. And these people who have been sanctioned to come into Portland are not even making the attempt to appear to step through said hoops. Now, all of this was going to be ignored pretty much by the conversation between if you should mask or no mask, or if mask is on Sundays or Saturdays, and what is mask, and to unmask and mask and face on and face off. But this happened, and I believe this will stem the tide and change the narrative.
That these federal agents are...
In fact, we want them to leave.
And this disturbing video shows the agents beating a Navy veteran with batons and then dousing him with pepper spray when he says that he was trying to engage them in a civil conversation. That Navy veteran, Chris David, is joining me now. Chris, thank you so much for being with us. Just walk us through what happened that night as you were there, I guess, trying to speak to the what officers or troops. You tell us what happened.
Well, yeah, that was actually the primary reason that I went down to this protest, since it was my first one. I wanted to see if I could have a civil discussion with these federal agents, officers, and ask them why they felt that it was okay what they were doing, that I felt that they were violating their oath to the Constitution. And so what I did in preparation for that, I put on my Naval Academy sweatshirt, my Navy wrestling hat, and my backpack with all my CB patches, under the presumption that they would respect that and maybe talk to me instead of treat me as some other protester. That didn't work out at all.
No, that did not work out. And we see the video of what then happened. You just turned away. I mean.
Yeah, I got a feeling things are going to change a little bit. The narrative's going to switch up because they beat up an older white guy who's a veteran. It's going to be very difficult to frame him as some weirded out hippie that's smoking too much weed who's breaking into buildings. Navy veteran Chris David, 53-year-old, told CNN that he had never been to a protest and he was enraged when he saw federal officers on the scene and wanted to ask them what they were doing there. Officers from federal agencies have been spotted in the city taking protesters off the street, arresting them, putting them in unmarked vehicles over the past week. He said, I was going to ask, didn't even get an opportunity to ask, why they weren't living up to their oath of service. The Constitution. All I wanted to do for the cause. Well, speaking to it, I don't know if there's any words that you really can say to justify what happened. Oh, this poor guy. I mean, he may be a scumbag, but look at the look on the face of this gentleman who tries to explain why it was okay to beat up the Navy guy.
That these federal agents are acting when unusually threatened. Those were the exact words you just said to me. I want to put Chris David, video of 53-year-old Chris David, a Navy veteran, up on the screen. I don't know if you can see this, but this happened over the weekend.
Yeah, I cannot.
Chris David is a 53-year-old Navy veteran. You can see him. He's the large man there. Our audience can see him. You can't. But he's standing still, and he's being hit repeatedly with batons there. Is that what you mean when you say the federal officers are being unusually threatened?
What you have there is Marshal Service folks. You don't have DHS officers.
I didn't catch his name there, but did you hear his response? Well, is this the CNN guy got him pretty good? Oh, is this what you meant when you said that the officers were under unusual situations, conditions there, as they were beating this man who was doing nothing? Well, I don't think they're with our agency. I don't know what agency they're with. No, but look like this makes sense. Does this look legal? Is this protocol for 4 or 5 military personnel or police, whatever they are, law enforcement, serving in a law enforcement capacity, to be beating a man who has his hands up, who's standing there doing nothing? Hell, he didn't even move when he got hit. And did you see that one put a lick in as he walked away, hit him in the back of the head? Did you notice that, Johnson? Yeah, it's going to be kind of difficult to explain that away. He said, I was hoping they wouldn't shoot me because one had a weapon pointed at my chest. See, you couldn't really see that part because he's such a big guy. This may end up being part of the catalyst that reverses this thing, that really dumps, this is Trump's doing. I know it's not Trump, it's Trump, the Trump fever that's sweeping the country, the Trump that put these troops in these cities to combat, to try to stem the protests. He's doing nothing but making it worse. Instead of listening to citizens, and instead of creating a dialogue, instead of suggesting that maybe they have vital criticisms or injuries that they want to discuss with their country, their local state governments, Donald Trump's calculations has been, maybe it's better if we appear strong and we just beat their asses. That's probably the best way to handle it. And I don't think that's going to shake out too well for Donald Trump. And when you see stuff like this, and let's just face it, when it ain't young people, when it's not young people who look like they smoke marijuana, and if it's not black people who look scary from the age of 12 to 92, you can still look scary if you're black. It becomes a little difficult to explain away. I mean, I haven't seen an atrocity this bad by police recently since George Floyd, other than that older white guy getting pushed down and his head cracked open by those officers. And where it was, Minnesota, was it? Is he still able to eat solid food? I mean, is he okay? He kind of faded from the news. See, they were able to get away with that one because Donald Trump himself came out and smeared him and said that he was an operative with no evidence. Well, what's he going to do now about this Navy vet who's very clearly being beaten by people Trump sent in? What's going to be the spin now? All right. Now, I'm not a CNN guy, but they did reach out to the Department of Homeland Security and the U.S. Marshals for a comment, but they haven't heard back yet. Let's see if Trump tweets about it. I'm sure he will. I mean, he's going to have to say something. He likes to discuss all other things. This will be one for you, Trumpy. Not just a symptom of the problem, a problem. I said it first. All right. Moving on to other news. You know, there's a lot going on in the country. We all know that. Where we've been under quarantine in some states for quite some time. We able to come back out. We're hoping it was all just a bad dream. I don't have a schedule. I sleep when I'm tired. I eat when I'm hungry. It's weird. I control me, but I don't know what... I'm not affixed to anything. Ever since the school shut down back in March or whatever, I mean, if you're like me, the world's upside down. It's topsy-turvy. I mean, it's always been kind of, weird. Like you never knew what was going to happen. But Jesus, this is like over the beyond. It's crazy. Okay, so, but one of the byproducts of this whole thing has been a debate about masks. And yeah, I've been covering, I got a new segment called Mass Confusion. Please don't steal it. People love to steal. Leave it alone. It's mine. And yes, people have been debating about masks, but what's going on in Atlanta right now, what's going on in Georgia between the Georgia governor and the Atlanta mayor is just plain idiotic. What the hell? We got Governor Kemp vote stealing. This guy shouldn't even be governor, really. He just shouldn't, okay? We got Governor Kemp putting a gag order effectively on Keisha Lance Bottoms because he don't like the things she says. Hey, saying that she can't talk. What is this? Okay, so both of you were elected. I mean, you not so much, Kemp, but Keisha Lance Bottoms was elected. Okay, so the people of Atlanta chose her to speak for them. They chose her. Okay, here's the latest update on this. Now, this is what's happening now. And I got it. I watched a clip of Governor Kemp gave a press conference accusing Atlanta mayor of playing politics over mask mandate, over the mask mandate in Atlanta. Now, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms has issued another salvo in a legal feud with Governor Brian Kemp over the city's coronavirus mask mandates. Kemp is suing the city of Atlanta after Bottoms issued a mask mandate in defiance of the governor's executive order, which stops local officials from issuing mask mandates. On Sunday, Bottoms posted on Instagram a screenshot of a legal document which shows that the Kemp has also applied for an emergency injunction to stop her from speaking publicly about it. But Bottoms said in her post that she would not be silent about it. It's crazy. Someone tell Mr. Kemp, Governor Kemp, that the whites stopped muzzling the blacks back in the 1800s. Yeah, I know that you have your way and you are the governor, but you're not king of Georgia. You are the governor of Georgia. You have rules and she has rules. And a gag order or a silencing will not be part of that. You don't have the authority to do that. So, look, I'm not here. I don't know exactly what's going on between these two. Politics, Governor Kemp. If you're saying that Keisha Lance Bottoms is playing politics because she's requiring a mask, she wants a mandatory mask for people to enter businesses, there are a lot of cities and states that have that. They have that here in Maryland, by the way. And it's not a political motivation. We have a Republican governor who's cool with it. Okay, because we want to be able to stem the tide. We want to be able to flatten the curve. We actually want to see less people catch this deadly virus. If anyone's playing politics, it would be Brian Kemp, Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump. So on this one, I support Keisha Lance Bottoms being able to speak about the issue. Bottoms mandate makes going out without a mask punishable by a fine and up to 6 months in jail. Of course, who's there to enforce it? If you're just walking across the street and you don't have a mask on, who's running up on you? There's not enough law enforcement to really do everything, but it's just to put in the psyche of the people that this is something you must adhere to. Kemp's making this overblown and making a play on this thing. Kemp's lawsuit argues that Mayor is responsible for upholding his executive orders and that she does not have the authority to modify them in any way. In a statement accompanying the lawsuit, Kemp said his lawsuit was on behalf of the Atlanta business owners and their hardworking employees who are struggling to survive during these difficult times. Hey, check this out. People are still going to go out. If all of the businesses follow the rule that they should wear masks, then no business will be more impacted than any other business. But when you don't make it mandatory, what about the business owners who want their customers to wear masks because they actually care if their employees remain healthy? What about those business owners? I look at it the other way. I look at it like not having a mandatory mask in public spaces is going to hurt businesses more, because if people can pick and choose, then those people who don't want to wear a mask are going to pick and choose and go to the restaurants or the retailers or the businesses that don't require it, And now the other businesses are going to suffer. If everyone has the same rules, then the people will have to buckle and wear a damn mask. I think that's the better way to go. But of course, Kip knows best. All right. Moving on. You know, considering I started this show off talking about a person of the left, a gallant individual, some call a vanguard of the left, I found it kind of weird. It's kind of weird to even talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it because I think that he would agree that it's weird, that it's worth at least my ridicule, if nothing else. I'm just going to run this, okay? Because I was saying some things about this development, and there were people going, no, it's a good alternative. It makes sense. You need to just slow down, Tim Black. Slow down, Tim Black. Okay. Here you go, mofo. Here you go.
So that's a Stephen move. When Harriet Tubman never actually freed the slaves. She just had the slaves go work for other white people.
Y'all, we leaving right now.
So that's a Stephen move. When Harriet Tubman never actually freed the slaves. She just had the slaves go work for other white people.
Y'all, we leaving right now.
To those people that were telling me that I needed to give Kanye West a chance, you were saying, well, maybe he will bring up issues like Medicare for all. Maybe he'll talk about relieving student debt. Maybe he'll take his proper dosage of lithium or AD, whatever it is, as well. Listen, Kanye West is a sick individual who needs support, therapy, and love of a family. A doctor's attention. He does not need more spotlight and more anything else. And to those people that said, Trump is as worse as we can do, wrong. You can do worse. And to those people, my black friends, and there's a lot of them, who said, Obama was the worst thing that happened to black America. Maybe, but Kanye West would double that. The man is unwell. And I don't say that to make fun of him. I say that because it's true. It may be funny, but it's also true that he's putting himself out here for no other reason. And it's also disgusting, isn't it? And by the way, he will not be appearing on the South Carolina ballot. Okay? So that's what this whole shtick was about, this whole thing. So, and anybody who believes that being a slave and working for a check are the same thing, you a moron. No yay. I would get no yay buttons, but he's not a big enough threat that I think I need to get no yay buttons made. I don't want it. Maybe if I get no yay buttons and started wearing no yay as in no Kanye, I don't know if it'd be a good idea, because then I just have a bunch of morons when I decide to stop wearing it who would say, what, now you support Kanye? Because you don't have on your no yay. Because people are stupid. All right, guys, that's all I got. We're going to go to comment sections now. So what we got here. Let's check it out. I know there's some comments in here about tonight's show. Hilltop Ironworks says the loss of Michael Brooks will leave an unfillable hole in our collective knowledge and continuousness. Rest easy, brother. Dave L says, R.I.P. Michael Brooks, Lulu Livre, left is best. Ashura, I know you don't like some left channels, but I don't expect to see. Lord, I'm not even reading that. I don't like some left channels. I disagree with some left channels. What a reductionist way to look at it, Ashura. I don't like some left channels. I disagree with some people very vehemently. Watch who you want to watch. Which is my right as a person, you know? Abe, if anyone's thinking about YouTube being service, running for office, let the loss of Michael Brooks be a reason to go forward. Build a better world. I like that, Abe. Thank you. Nominal times. 25 cents from 20 of us, Johnson. Thank you, Johnson. Cyborg Manifesto. Appreciate you. Rest in power, Michael Brooks. Thank you, Cyborg. I appreciate you. We're carrying signs now. Thank you. We carry signs. June McGraw. Henry Kissinger and Dick Cheney are still alive. Michael Brooks is dead. No justice in the world. Cyborg Manifesto, another message saying all you Johnsons are so valuable and needed in the world. Love you. Damn, Cyborg, that's good. Thank you, my friend. And I appreciate you. Katie Regan. Donating in Michael's name. Everyone stay healthy. Life is too short. Precisely. It's too short. And we do what we can, right? Debbie Howard sent you a message on Facebook. Yeah, it's a copy of a letter to Trump for the Chicago police union telling Trump they will help him gain control of Chi-Town. Oh, God. All right, I'll look for that. Gosh, Debbie. All right. Trump is killing himself with seniors again. Now, that's a better one, sure. I like that one better. Tim, you look good in pink. R.I.P. Michael, peace, Wolfpack. But would Michael Brooks approve of my pink tie? He might not. It's not Adidas. So New York. He's so New York. Love it. Love it. Oh, damn, Tim, you are a mind reader. You should have shown the whole because he spilled a lot of tea that might get his marriage in trouble. Oh, you know, okay. I'm sure it's talking about yeah, I don't wanna show much of Kanye. I heard what he said. I you know what I'm saying, sure. I don't want to give him play like that, you know. I just want him to go on and just make records, get his life right, get his head right. No one asked for mental illness. Mental health is important, and but in Kanye's situation, he has the ability to afford the type of health care he wants, or that he would need to you know somehow balance out whatever's going on with him hormonally or whatever it is, right? Physiologically. So with him, as pointed to, I think it was Neil Brennan, a great writer and comedian who did part of the Chappelle Show and many other projects. He's known for more than just that. You know, when you're rich, it's hard to reel in a rich person. Oh, when your people are rich and when they are rich, Kanye just passed the $1 billion mark. Okay, he's on the $1 billion Forbes list. Everyone in his life is trying to get something out of him. Who's willing to risk getting something out of him to tell him, hey, man, you really need help? And he probably won't even listen. You know how many people would take to tell Kanye West, something's wrong, Kanye? Probably 5 people. And those 5 people, because you know how we are, like you hear it the first time, you dismiss it. Hear it the second time, oh, they're haters. They're out to get me. You don't got the answer, Sway. And then, I mean, it would take like 5 people telling him, all those people risking close proximity to a billionaire. So it's difficult. BJ said another moron with $1 billion. It's almost unconscionable that people had that type of money. Karen Webster, please take good care of yourself, Tim. We need you. Yeah. So does my family. You know? And I appreciate it, Karen. I do. Buddy, Neher. What did Buddy Neher say? Buddy Neher says, where's Buddy's comment? Oh, agreed, Tim. One can be smart. What counts is making the world better and working for it. That's it. That's it. There's a lot of smart people. There's a lot of smart people who didn't do what Michael Brooks did. So don't get it twisted. It's not just that he was smart. A lot of people comment about his intellect, how deep he was, how well known, how well read he was, and all that is great. But at the end of the day, that's not what made him great, in my opinion. What makes him great is his work ethic and his positioning, that he chose to be this person. He chose to be who he was. He put his foot in the dirt and went that away, left away. And he did that strongly and uncompromisingly. Those are choices. And those intentional moves made him great. And what the empathy that he possessed, and in the way that he kept that going, the way that was all him. So, like I said, there's a lot of smart people, but that doesn't mean shit. Hell, some of the worst people in history are smart. I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with being intellectual, but we got some intellectuals right now. Who do you think runs the Democratic Party? Some intellectuals. Some smart people run both parties. What are they doing for us? So that's the difference, and that's what I was trying to get to. So, and yeah. Karen Webster says, amen. Oh, this is Katie. Katie says, amen. Michael was talking about empathy and lived it. Empathy is worth so much more than anything. You're welcome. Oh, thanks, Karen. I want to say this last thing, and I'm gonna end the show, man, because I may look like I got this, be able to say these things, but there are people that get it, and I can only speak from my point of view, right? And that's what I was talking about earlier. I would say this: I believe that Michael Brooks got the intersectionality between class and race. And I think he got it in a way where he understood the importance of understanding that race is an issue in this country. And I never felt he cheapened the fight that my parents and my parents' parents, like, I never felt like he cheapened that struggle for us, and what we're trying to do today. For viewership, for support, for love, for whatever. I just feel like he got it, So I don't want to go too far. I just want to say, better world because he was here. All right. And will remain better as long as his words live on. And one of the beautiful things is, somebody reminded me of this. When you make as much content as we do, we leave our friends a treasure trove of memories, of our thoughts, and that's an amazing thing. A friend of mine had to remind me of that. He's like, Tim, hey, whatever happens, man, your kids are always going to have so many hours and hours of you talking. They're going to have that. And I was like, wow, that's true. That's true. And like, just a mere 20 years ago, that would be like, maybe you'd have one or two family photo films. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, guys, I'm done. Thank you for tuning into the show. I will see you tomorrow. I wish you all the best. Love somebody, hug somebody, tell them you love them, admit it, give in, and lean in, and be you. Do you, be you, and now there's no better time than the present for anything you want to do. Lessons for someone who's lost many people. I love you. I'm Tim Black. I see you on the next one. Go to Real Tim Black. Follow Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. Become a member of the Wolfpack at patreon.com. Tim's Take Live. You can do that on Facebook or on YouTube. It only starts at $5. I got nothing but love for you. Don't let anyone take your cornbread and Sprinkle some facts on them. Peace. The Tim Black Show is streamed on a live audience. In front of a live audience on the internet, go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, become a member. Always, you can visit us at timblacktv.com. Peace, Johnson.